Tonight, and we are going to be working on improving the script disassembler and maybe even making a recompiler if we're feeling real spicy. Zychronix has decided that he's no longer afraid of the scripting because we're getting to a point where it would actually be useful to draw mod. So here we are. So So I think we are going to have to start out by kind of defining a language for this to use. Right now, the disassembler that I wrote is super simple. We've used that in a couple of previous videos as well. I can actually just run it here real quick and kind of show the output. So it just dumps in this kind of like pseudo assembly or kind of like pseudo C-ish, Java-ish language. That's also kind of sort of assembly-ish. Um, but that's not really good for recompiling. It would be much easier if we just used sort of like a straight up like ASM-like language. Now, of course, the issue is the LOD scripting engine has like 100 different opcodes. Every one of these cases is an opcode, so we got our work cut out for us. But that'll be probably by far the easiest way to start out. So, actually, we should probably do this in a Google document, shouldn't we?
Probably, yeah.
Legend of Dragoon results archive. By the way, can everyone hear us okay? We coming through good? Hey Fanger, hey Chocolate. No documents, script reversing. And let's make this a sheet. We will call it LOD ASM. Hey Icarus. Yeah, so do you think we should list the opcode index, or should we just use the line numbers? Some of them are no ops, or were implemented but no longer are. So I'm not really sure.
Probably just by the opcode.
Yeah. I thought Drew said it was Fanger. Is it not? Um, yeah, so I'll put the opcode as the first column, which means we can do headers and stuff. Hey Spyro. List of all opcodes. Let's do op name and description if necessary. Banger, okay. So it's not like a hillbilly saying finger. So I'm thinking we should probably rename pause to yield. I think that's more descriptive. Basically, what it does is it doesn't just pause the script. It pauses and moves on to processing the next script. So like yield is more appropriate. We want these to be succinct as well. So this is yield and rewinds execution to where this script frame started. Does that make sense?
I'm still catching up on the stream.
Oh, sorry, I did not start the Discord stream for you. Screen share, screen one, text readability. There, you should be good now. I mean, yeah. I admire the dedication to your username from when you were 10.
Okay, yeah, those two make sense.
Now this one. See, some of these are like compound operations. Some of them can actually be pretty complex. So this one basically makes a script wait for n frames before continuing. Should we just maybe call that wait?
Yeah, that sounds descriptive enough.
Oh,
yeah,
we need a parameters.
When I was looking through the script of that map that does basically nothing, I saw quite a few single opcodes are like 4 to 5 lines long of code. I was like, oh, you get this from like 12 bytes.
Yeah, exactly. Laura says, so after going through hard mode about twice, I think Linus, Divine, Dragon, Ghost should be nerfed, and Ghost Fairbrand should be buffed. Oh, the status effect value on Angel Robe should be set to 0. There's another value for the res chance. That is the correct one.
Alright, about that, in the next Sever Chains Dramod, or Dramod for Sever Chains is what I'm officially calling it.
Nice. Good name.
Hard mode Linus is nerfed. Originally, I didn't want her to have the same Japanese version's stat, but then at the time I didn't know, oh, magic has a 50% lower damage multiplier. So I did nerf her.
Oh, there you go. What's up, Alepre?
And I don't think I will nerf Divine Dragon Ghost, but I will give it a better reward. We will see. I'm in the process of nerfing and buffing Hard and Hell mode as I play through Hell mode.
Okay, this one. See, we get these weird ones like this. So like this is if the comparison, this is like comparison, but if the comparison fails, then it rewinds. So this would be like, this is a variation of weight. Maybe like weights comp?
So let me see if I understand this. It's an if statement. So if, say, storage 31 does not equal 0, go back and wait.
Yeah. So it just basically keeps repeating until that condition passes. Like it'll rewind and yield execution, and then on the next
So it's,
frame it'll try again.
so it's a while, I guess,
Kind
depending.
of. Um, so the thing is, like this is probably for like synchronization with other scripts or with the engine. Um, because like well, I mean, I guess it could be doing other stuff as well. I mean, there's a few things they could use it for. Complicated.
For now, we will make a note of it and rename it later, I guess.
I think weight comp is meaningful enough because it basically does a comparison and then waits if necessary. And when I say parameter p, um, that denotes the parameter that can be part of the script header or the command header. Um, the command header is built up of a 8-bit number of parameters, 8-bit opcode, and then a 16-bit parameter. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that Elepry, but also at the same time, there's 100 goddamn ops, and if we try and keep it too short, it's gonna be impossible to read. And this is weight comp 0, which is almost the same, except the left-hand operand is always 0. Um, yeah, I guess we should decide how to, like, what order things should be in the name. This maybe it is a good idea to have this as comp weight instead of weight comp. I don't know, which do you think makes more sense, Zychronix, Lepre?
Yeah, the order of operations it's doing from left to right, and then the next command in the list
Yeah.
if it has multiple.
All right. Where is 5? 5 might not be... Yeah, 5 is not implemented. I'm just going to leave those blank. They all pause and rewind, but I don't see any reason to actually write them if they are not used. Um, well, I mean, technically, Leopard, this is a variation on rewind. Um, so maybe rewind 4. But I mean, semantically, it is waiting for a certain number of frames to pass. So I don't think rewind 4 is particularly descriptive for that. I'm not I'm not against wait 4. I don't know. I'm having difficulty deciding. Naming things is hard. I'm gonna leave it at that for now, and we can revisit this. So 8 is a simple move. We can use the assembly for that. I think that's well understood enough. Um,
Is it 5 or 8 for move?
yeah, you're right. It's 8. So 0 equals source, 1 equals dest. Or I guess 1 should go there. Now this, I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be a swap operation, but they fucked it up. Like, if you look at this, it copies the value in parameter 0 into a temporary Um, and then it sets parameter 1 to that value, and then sets parameter 0 to that same value it copied. I'm pretty sure that's backwards, but like it is actually used. It literally amounts to just like another move command as is. But I don't know what to call this, because like I said, it is used. It's not actually a swap. Maybe just swap broken? Also, I'm kind of thinking that this return value column is not actually going to be useful.
Okay, I just looked at the script that has that. What the heck is that doing? Yeah, and the script I'm looking at just moves. It's a temporary value to the destination, but it doesn't actually. I have no clue what the game is doing.
Yeah, no, like see it should be like copy the value of 0, set 0 to 1, and then set 1 to the backed up value.
Maybe we should specifically label it like red or something.
Yeah. Well, I've got it called swap broken.
Oh, yeah, that's good enough, I guess. The script I'm looking at has the source and the destination the same.
For memcopy?
Also doesn't. No, for broken swap.
Oh, yeah. That's even
Oh,
weirder.
this is confusing me even more.
That's even weirder and more stupid. I guess we'll just call this move 0.
We like to call it zap.
Zap.
Yeah. In the assembly language I use at work, it's called zap.
Interesting. What assembly language do you use at work?
High level assembler? I think that's what it's IBM. I don't know what it's called.
Okay. Can't say I've ever heard that called Zap before. Kind of makes sense. We've got our basic logic. These ones are all pretty simple. And you got some weird hybrid ones, like an and an or. Um, 0 equals 1 equals or 2 equals. What should we call the variable that is being operated on? I guess the operand?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Lepre, tell me the math terms for this. What would the value on the right of the and be?
Oh god, I haven't done any high-level math since high school. As long as we call everything operand, we can just replace the name later.
Yeah, fair enough.
My favorite, bit shifting.
0 equals shift, 1 equals operand. Make sure we keep these numbers aligned. Um, what should we call this? I just called it sub 2 here. It just subtracts in the opposite order. Instead of subtracting parameter 0 from parameter 1, it sets parameter 1 to parameter 0 minus parameter 1.
Wait, what?
So instead of it being P1 equals P1 minus P0, it's P1 equals P0 minus P1.
That is an odd way of doing it.
Like this.
Oh, never mind. But isn't that the same thing as...
No, this is that.
Oh, okay, see, that makes more sense.
We just call it sub 2 or like I don't know if that is descriptive enough, but I'm having trouble thinking of anything relatively short that is descriptive.
Isn't there... Gosh, where's the Mets book I had? I thought there was like a reverse instruction or something that does the opposite of another. Where is it? I don't know, just call it sub R or something.
Yeah, prefix before or after.
Right, because we have comp and weight, but this... Usually everything is
I think
E1.
I think sub R probably makes sense. Or just sub rev. They don't need to be super short, but short enough.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, we can always update these. Okay. And we got the same thing here. Um, this is numerator. I think we got misaligned here. Yes. Um, can I just do this? I can. Nice. For some reason, there's a copy of mod and mod rev. We might as well fill those in now.
My God, stop typing it, just drag. Drag. You
What?
can autofill it, you know,
I do not know. Teach me.
highlight like 47 to 50,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then hold the crosshair, and keep going till, how much do we have? 100 and something?
That was close. Pretty sure there's like exactly 100 or 99 or something like that. I do not use spreadsheets ever. Gathers whatever in the hell these are.
Oh, P0 shift P0, divide P0 shift and shift again. What?
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe it's best if we actually do an example of it and then we'll understand what it's trying to do. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Like if we want to say give it a value and try shifting it and see what that is trying to do, I guess. But I
Well,
don't.
so the thing is, this part here should be like barring the loss of precision by shifting off the lower nibble. This should be mathematically equivalent to just not doing the shifting at all.
Right, because you're. Hmm.
So if the values are less than 16, um, the result of this will just be 0 no matter what.
Right, because you're moving all the ones out, basically.
Yeah. But then it does another shift down at the end. So
I
the
bet this
input
was using damage calculation somewhere.
the inputs would have to be at least like half decently large for this to yield anything non-zero.
This is why it says probably for damage. I wonder if we have the formula still, and if we can see that it's doing that. So you know how damage will like multiply up to like 70,000 or something, even if it's like 7 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why the damage is slightly off in Sever Chains, because we don't understand what the heck this is.
Well, I mean, like Sever Chains does still do this. Like the script engine is implemented as such.
Oh, okay. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So
I
Pony
read
Bro.
something else. Huh.
So like, let's say we've got hex 40 shifted right by 4. Um, so the left-hand side would need to be like 16 times larger than the right-hand side for this to also not be 0. Yeah. Left-hand side would have to be 16 times larger than the right-hand side, and would also have to be at least 16 for this to be non-zero. What could this possibly be used for? I mean, obviously its counterparts are right here. Oh, not too bad. We are in the process of kind of defining a like proper assembly language for the scripting engine. We're gonna kind of work on A, improving the script disassembler, and B, writing a reassembler so we can much more easily make changes to scripts. As it stands, like all of the patches that we've done to the scripts so far have been like recompiled manually and hex edited into the scripts, and recompiling by hand it takes like 5 minutes per op, and like a single method could be anywhere from 10 to 100 ops. So it's definitely not scalable as is. We need to write some kind of tool to do it for us. I am so confused by these.
Well, but what about the bottom two? Does that even make more sense? The 41 and 42. What are...
I really don't know what the benefit of doing this would be. Yeah, it's good to have you here. Been a while since we've seen you around. I'm gonna send TFC a message real quick and see if he's able to look into this in the scripts. Well, I don't know if he's actually around, but I left a message.
Yeah, I would need to actually see the value of this
Hmm.
and know what the variable is doing to make sense of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Vincent, you are correct. I am going to call this unknown 40, and we're going to leave it at that for now. We don't need to know what it means to recompile it, so if we see those in some disassembled or decompiled scripts, then yeah, we'll be able to analyze that a bit further. No, I do not want you to paste the IntelliJ background color. Zero and P1, the parameters are 0 equals something and 1 equals something. We skip a few and we have squirt. Let me see. Okay, Zychronix, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Classic Discord is not picking up my controller. Okay, sorry. These things happen. One moment. Okay, Zychronix, can I hear you now? Oh my god, Discord is still not. Uh, testing, testing, testing.
Hello, hello.
Testing again, testing, testing. It is. Discord's seeing my headset, but there's no sound coming through it. Okay, can you try again? Can I hear you? Oh, what the heck, Discord? Can you keep talking? I can see you lighting up, but I am getting nothing. Um, Sorry everyone. I get this sorted out somehow. I'm gonna try restarting Discord again, I guess. Okay, again?
Testing.
Oh
One,
my
two,
god, it's
three.
working.
Hello. Hi.
Okay.
At least the stream didn't die. I was connected the whole time.
Yeah, I foresaw this coming because it happened last time, so I set the stream to not auto disconnect, and that was apparently a good plan.
Yes, we're just looking at the beautiful turtle right now.
Yep. Okay, I just need to get a couple of things set back up here on my end. And we will be back in action in a moment. It is a nice turtle, isn't it?
I just
Okay.
hope it doesn't encounter an alligator.
Why the heck is my default search engine still Bing? Swear to God, I changed that. Okay, resource, archive, technical documents. Cryptoversing. Good thing we were doing this on a cloud file. Okay, and we're back. Almost. Okay, we're really back. Okay, we didn't lose anything. Well, we lost like 20 keystrokes, but that's all right. Okay, so parameter 0 is the value, 1 is the destination. I'm assuming that's exclusive, but should probably check, I guess. Yes, that would be exclusive. Okay. I think TFC might have responded. Okay, yeah. TFC said he's busy, so we can worry about that later. Okay, so here's another question. Um, you know how LOD uses for anything that needs to be fractional, obviously the PS1 does not have a floating point processor, so we cannot have floating, like we can't have fractional numbers at all. We can only have whole numbers, integers. So in a lot of cases, the LOD code and PS1 code in general uses 12-bit fixed point. And that means basically the first 12 bits of the number are the fractional part, and then the remaining 20 bits, or 19 bits in the case of signed numbers, are the whole part. So for example, obviously, sign needs to be able to return higher resolution than just like, 1. So it returns a 12-bit fixed point. How should we denote that? Um, we could do something as simple as just like spin 12. Now, of course, that does kind of clash with the naming of these unknowns, but I'm not sure that matters. What do you think, Zychronix?
So it's only 12 because of the specific amount of fixed point bits
Yeah,
it has.
yeah.
And
So it's a 12-bit fixed point number that it returns. Um, which is also the same reason that on the square root I have the 0 at the end, but 0 is kind of the default, I guess, so I'm not sure we really need a suffix or a prefix for that.
yeah, I think that name's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be confusing if it was just 10
Yeah,
and because then it won't be what you're expecting the result to be if someone's looking at it for the first time.
yeah. Fair enough. 26 unknowns. Um, so input in PSX degrees where 1 equals 1000. Output is I want to say the output is radians in 12-bit fixed point. Pretty sure. Or no, not radians, obviously. It's just a value from -1 to 1 in 12-bit fixed point. So output is -1 to 1 in 12-bit fixed point. Exact same thing for cosine. Same thing for atan 2. 0 equals y, 1 equals x, 2 equals dest. Okay, now the subfunctions, which covers a huge amount of the code. We will just put that as subfunc for now. Well, maybe now is a good time to rename subfunction. Um, it made sense when I was still referring to ops as functions, and then op53 was subfunction. Um, but what this actually is a way for scripts to call into engine code. It's sort of like it's like a script extension almost, like an extension point.
Uh,
I don't know if we
so,
should go ahead.
for example, some function 581 is going to call something specific in the engine code,
Yep, it runs a engine function.
and that's what's at the bottom of the parser, right? Or is that something else?
This is it. I have only actually bothered to write out a couple of them because there's literally like 700 or 800 of them. Um, I think what we will do is actually scrape the SC code for the name of the subfunction, and in a comment we'll put like read script flag or something. So it would look like subfunc 5, like something like this.
Okay.
But I'm not sold on the name subfunc because it's not really descriptive of what it actually is. Um, I would think like
Well,
engine func or maybe I don't know, external. External doesn't necessarily mean external could mean like another script or something though. Extension or just like call maybe.
yeah, that was my suggestion.
Call it is.
It's okay, you're gonna type in the future call script add or something. But how do you pass parameters with that?
It's just the same as normal.
Oh, okay.
Just zero through however many parameters you need. Parameter p is the function index. We are misaligned again. It should
Oh,
be
yeah.
64. No, it should be 56. Calls an engine function, forwards all parameters. So now we get to jumping. Now the really fun part is it's actually possible to jump in between scripts.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, so If you use a parameter from a different script, it will actually jump to that script. So like if you load a storage value or like an inline from another script, it'll actually jump into that script.
Why couldn't they just all be not connected in that way?
What a great question. I wish I knew. The LOD devs were insane. And I'm, you know what, I'm thinking we should just write these out fully, because why not? Let's see. So P equals and 0 equals left, 1 equals right, 2 equals address, jump if comparison succeeds. So 0 equals right and 1 is the address. Jump if comparison to 0 succeeds. So 67 is a while loop. It will,
An actual while loop this time.
yep. So it decrements a variable and jumps as long as that variable is not 0. Um, 0 equals counter, 1 equals address, counter, and jumps if counter is not 0. Oh, good. We're getting into the relative jumps.
Yeah, I have no clue what number 68 means.
So it takes a table in parameter 1, except parameter 1 is like a table of tables. And then it uses parameter 0 as an index. So parameter 0 is an index into the table, and then the value in the table is another index into the same table. because it had to be that much more complicated.
So let's jump to this address in this multi-dimensional array of indexes.
Multi-dimensional array of index slash address.
Huh, okay. I'm still lost.
Does that make sense? I mean, it doesn't make sense, but is that readable?
It's readable, yes.
Okay, so this is go sub. Should we call it go sub or should we call it JAL? JAL is MIPS, but I mean, we're not really using
Jump and
MIPS.
locate, right?
Jump and link.
Sorry, yeah, link. I always mix those two up.
But go sub means the same thing and is easier for a newcomer to understand.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 0 is the address. Push address to all stack and jump. Return simple enough. Then we have a go sub table where 0 is the index and 1 is the table. Now this is another weird one. This is also that. Don't know why I wrote it like that on here. '80 is simple. Just deallocate me. Although it doesn't deallocate. Okay, how do we differentiate between these two? This one just deallocates itself. This one deallocates itself and its children.
Deallocate parent.
That kind of implies that a child script would be deallocating its parent.
Oh.
Maybe deallocate self and deallocate. I don't want to say all because it doesn't deallocate everything. I don't want to say deallocate just children because it also deallocates itself. I don't want to say deallocate self and children because it's really goddamn long. I don't really want to just say deallocate because I don't think that's specific enough. Does anyone in the chat have any suggestions? Yeah, I mean, deallocate multi kinda, but also like That doesn't specify which. I don't want... A, I don't want me to be confused, and B, I don't want other people to be confused. Mostly me.
80 deallocates itself, 82 deallocates.
Itself and its children. Deallocate family? That's the most descriptive thing I've come up with so far.
So when opcode 80 is executed, it just deallocates itself, but the children or the subscripts or whatever are still there.
Yeah,
Uh,
because a script can allocate children. Some will be like a fork of the script, others might be, um, it could be other scripts altogether. I'm just gonna call it deallocate family for now. It's stupid, but it's descriptive. I need to check if this deallocates the other script's children. Yes, it does. Wait. Deallocate self and deallocate children are doing the exact same thing. Is that a bug?
oh, great. It makes naming easier then.
Uh, okay, let's...
I mean, wouldn't we have noticed something in RB2 if something went wrong? Or
You would think, but maybe not. Uh, how old is this commit that we're on here? Not very old. Let me look what I got for tags here. Okay, let's grab this commit and see if that is before I completely rewrote the scripting engine. Okay, I don't have the scripting package, so that's a good sign. All of these are still here. Okay. Those are... Okay, so it calls deallocate script children and then deallocate script state. How much do you want to bet deallocate script and children does that? Yep.
oh, well then.
So it's, yeah, it's just the same thing with more steps. Also, God damn, looking at this old scripting engine code is awful.
It worked, at least, I guess.
It did work, but boy was it not maintainable.
Maybe when we... Yeah, I don't know. If they do the same thing, do they need a...
We might actually just merge those into the same ASM. Now that means that any 82 would get transformed into an 80, but that doesn't matter. It will produce a different script very slightly, but yeah.
We'll figure out if something breaks when we get to that point, I guess. I
Yeah.
doubt it. There's no... Yeah, there's nothing between the pause and rewind, so... Or the wait is... What did we call the rewind? I should have the assembler, the
um,
Google Doc open.
no, we left it as rewind, but we renamed pause to yield.
Right.
Okay. We're actually getting pretty close to the end here. Okay, so we've got fork, P0 equals index, P1 equals address, and okay, so it forks script index P0. It jumps P0 script to P1, and then it sets P0 script storage 32 to P3. But why? I'm gonna check the SC code and see if we got any insight here. Nope, it's the same. Also, it's really weird that when it forks a script, the fork actually continues running, is actually what continues running as normal, and it jumps the script that was forked. Hey, thanks for stopping by,
Um,
Spyro. Have fun.
Alright, so you have script 1, and then you fork, and then script 2 starts running? Or you go to script 2 to execute, and then you go back to script 1?
Fork script P0. Jump original P0 to P1. Set original P0.S32 to P2.
I think that's as much sense as it will make so far.
Yeah.
Oh, 87 is what is that doing? Oh, it's slightly different.
Yeah, so this forks a script and then instead of using an absolute address, it uses a different entry point. Remember we were talking about the entry points last night?
Yes, the script I was looking at had multiple entry points I saw. So like this will be used to jump to that the second script's entry point or whatever.
Yeah. So instead of jumping to an absolute address, it jumps to an entry point. Then we have consume child.
Oh no. I just saw it deallocate again.
So consume joins the child script, join being the standard Unix join terminology. And I guess we can just say deallocate child and assume its identity.
Identity theft?
Okay, so
Oh, these ones are my favorite.
yeah. Um, so 99 is it just gets the stack depth. I wonder if that's ever actually even used. I'm just gonna call it depth. And there is no 100. Well, there is, because we started at 0, but, you know.
You're thinking in Zamboni numbers again. It's 5, 6, 7, 11, 13, 14, 15 is all the...
So those specifically are implemented. I'm guessing, I don't know if they were used at one point. Um, there are others that just don't have uh, like implementation at all.
Interesting. Well, we know they like to replace stuff instead of actually deleting it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've got a decent start here. Um, so we can kind of start transforming this. Yield, rewind. This is 8% S. Now these comparisons are kind of unfortunate. I guess we can include this as like a comment. Hmm. Or, I mean, let's just, yeah, instead of just putting the operator index, let's just put the actual operator. I think that's a lot more useful.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. That makes more sense now, yeah.
Should also probably have a get operator method. Oh, this should be operator, not operand. These are the same everywhere, and they're used in multiple places. Um, so I'm thinking about overloading. So instead of comp0 wait, maybe if the left operand is the literal 0, then it gets transformed into that. That's probably easier to remember.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing.
Exactly, you get it. Um, okay, here's another question. Destination on left or right? I would say left, it matches MIPS.
That is a hard one.
I think left.
Because normally most people have it, or in most programming languages, it's like right to left, right? Right? So,
Well, I mean, think about it. It's destination equals source, right? You know, that's how it would be if you were programming as well.
yeah, yeah.
So I think that makes sense. Um, yeah, it doesn't really matter too much what we do about that. Yeah, destination, source, size. And again, this can just be move. And instead of a second variable, it's just 0. Destination on the left again, yeah. What a
Okay, yeah.
strange operation.
So every time we have a destination, will it always be on the left?
Yes.
So, okay, we will get to that soon, I guess. Just scrolling down the list, sometimes the destination is on the right.
Let's fix any instances of that. Add sub subrev. Yep. Nation is still on the left. So this entire program still needs like a major rewrite to actually be well, like I was telling you, it's pretty prone to false positives and getting misaligned. It needs to be rewritten to be a lot more smart about how it traverses the code, starting at entry points and kind of like building out a tree of like probabilities on whether or not certain lines of code are actually code or not. Because obviously when we decompile the script, we don't want to have to manually go through and fix a bunch of things before it can be recompiled. But while one of us is doing that, the other could still be writing a recompiler based on this language.
Right, and the recompiler would just be does the script generate the correct bytes, right?
Sorry, what?
The recompiler would just be does the script generate the correct bytes, right?
Yeah, we would
So,
want to verify that they are ideally 100% equivalent, but we might get slight differences, such as the two deallocates. Also, the
and
two,
the weights,
there's
right?
the what?
The oh god, I closed it. The two comp weights and I guess
Well, ideally, the comp weights will use the correct opcode. Like if you detect a 0 for one of the operators, um,
okay.
you would just use the other one.
Uh, what about all the reversal functions?
Um, I don't think anything needs to be done there. I think we can just use them, leave them as is. There's also clones of mod and mod rev, so for some reason, YouTube is telling me I have an unexpected number of audio channels. It's saying they recommend either mono, stereo, or 5.1, which seems to be implying that I am sending them a different number of audio channels than 1, 2, or 5.1. I don't
Strange.
even know how that would be happening.
Probably need to check OBS after.
It's probably fine. What's the worst that could happen? Blue screens immediately.
Did you save?
I save so often. I had to switch to a beta build of Windows for something, and yeah, that's why it's blue screening. Fortunately, I rarely ever use my desktop, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so 0 is Y. Yeah, not really sure why, but atan2 takes yx as a parameter and not xy. We can do something more about this later. Um, what did we call that? We called it call. Not exactly sure what I want to do with the parameters, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. It's not ideal because it's a different format than anything else, but oh well. We are still working on this. Um, okay, so this comes first. S, 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 S. I'm just going to copy this as 66 and modify it slightly. That is the 0. And this also just becomes regular comp jump. Why intelligent? Why? Why are you not formatting this right? How could you? Jump table. Getting pretty close to the end, fortunately. Sub S. That's just adding that to the list of functions. Return is easy. Go to some table. Alright, Pony Bro, thanks for stopping by. Hope you feel better. '82 is also deallocate. 83 is deallocate another script. Yeah, we've only got a few left. Making pretty good progress. Fork. Consume. No up. Okay. That should do it. Let's see what happens when we run it.
Looks like it worked.
Yeah. Now, the way that it outputs parameters will need to be redone.
Oh god.
Because it's outputting in like a human readable format. Um, Unfortunately, there's like 20 something different types of parameters because, again, of course there is. And some of them are ridiculous.
Oh,
Like this.
that's where those come from. I didn't look through the code fully yet.
Yeah,
I was
it's
wondering how it was done.
it's bad.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to figure out what 12, 15, and 16 are doing.
Um, we haven't run into any of those yet, so not really concerned about those. Like TFC has disassembled every script.
That's
So
great.
so I think we're good. We just have to come up with a sensible name
For
for the different param types.
looking at this, that's gonna be more work than you just did.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have been by convention calling the storage parameters s and then a number. Um, we need to figure out a way to denote indirect access, because like this is potentially like reading storage from a script that is referenced by another script that is referenced by this script.
Even with that breakdown, I just need a second to process it.
How do we want to format this? So it's like that. Should we have a symbol that represents another script? What if we use like a dollar sign to say,
Hmm.
how do we, but this is fucking insanity. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I have. Oh God.
It's it's bad, but do you have better suggestions?
I am stumped.
What?
I am stumped. How?
I think I would rather use square braces, square brackets, just because that's what array lookup uses in most languages.
So instead of doing, because the current way it's printing out is A is this. Go to script. Script B equals the script from A. Okay.
So this is how it's currently printed.
I need them side by side. Oh yeah.
So this is kind of the same as it is now, just with script replaced by $sign and storage shortened.
Yeah, because technically you don't need A. You just need to do B, A, and then C. Like B square bracket A dot C. Am I making sense? I don't think so.
This one is kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, that one seems fine. I think if you do round braces, it's going to confuse people to thinking it's a method with parameters.
Oh boy, this is ugly. Oh my god, right, there is these where the storage parameter. Well, how do we denote that? Because this is like, this is like this. Like some number plus a value in storage, which doesn't really work for this S whatever shorthand.
Oh. I think we need to rethink this later.
I like this.
So I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do it all at the same time and say this method of making the shorthand work and not conflict with the others.
Yeah. I mean, we can do parentheses around these as well. That's really hard to read.
Yeah, to me it looks like I'm going into a script that's going into another script. That's going to index 10. And then I have that script, so then I'm going into index 14 of that script, which is a script within a script, then going into what? I'm confused. Or maybe I was
So
going on the
S
right track.
S is storage and
Oh,
$sign is
F is storage.
script.
Okay, so I'm going to a script, then I'm going to the storage of that script, going to the 10th index of the storage in that script.
So you gotta read it from the inside out here. So like S10 with no prefix is this script storage 10. And then we are dereferencing that script and getting storage 14 of that. Then we're dereferencing that script and getting S3 of it.
Ah,
It's ugly and it's hard to read, but it works. I am now wondering if we should in fact use parentheses for the script.
and then square braces for its storage, right?
Yeah, or game variables or whatever.
Yeah, the multiple braces works. Again, it's taking me like 3 minutes to process all this, but it looks like it makes sense.
Works might be a strong word for it, but it's at least parsable.
Why couldn't they just use MIPS as the scripting language or something?
Why couldn't they just be normal?
Why couldn't they just be normal? Exactly.
Oh, right, these inline things. Um, okay, so these are weird because they are like this. It's mm,
Go to, or go sub a pointer address, right?
I'm actually wondering if we should just have these as basically their own opcodes, like something like I guess just the name, like
If you want them, well, we know, uh, you just want them as like opcode.
basically what we're doing with assembly, with the assembly. Um, like
Okay.
this might make more sense for the language itself than what the fuck we're doing here.
Ah, hmm.
What do you think of that?
Well, it's certainly easier to read.
Yeah. And I mean, having someone edit something like this and still match up to one of these opcodes is gonna be fucking difficult. And yes, chocolate, I agree that it is extremely subjective. Okay. Yep. Okay, let's do that. Got 17, so that's what, 23? Wait, why? Oh wait, no, that's not true. Um, number start number has 0 in the param type byte. If number does not have 0 in the param type byte. Do you understand why this next immediate is necessary? One of the bytes of the parameter, it denotes what type of parameter it is. If the immediate that you are passing in has 0 in that byte, then the entire immediate parameter can fit into one parameter. But if it's a large number that does not have 0 in the parameter type byte, then you have like the parameter header, which says that it is this next immediate type, and then the next word in the script is the actual parameter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Ships. I can't insert. Um. I think this is gonna have to be its own sheet so I can adjust these widths. Oh god, this is a mess. Okay. 0 is what should we call the double storage indirection? You still there, Zychronix?
Yeah, I'm here for a few more minutes.
It's OO storage. Other storage. We can always come up with better names later. Okay, so
Yeah, just the name other storage is confusing me.
I know, right?
Like, look at the word vomit for the parameters. There has to be something better.
I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, actually, this isn't other storage. This is just other storage with a constant offset. How would you feel about O storage O, and OO storage? Just to make it maximally confusing.
This is horrible.
Blame the LOD devs. It's not my fault. Okay, for the sake of getting this done, I'm naming it that, and we're going to rename it later because it's awful.
Yeah, I just can't think of a name. The storage of this script that we're going to dereference to the storage of this one that's dereference. I don't know.
Other storage index offset. Uh, other storage. This storage, other storage index.
Sure. Yeah, that makes complete sense. I don't know how anyone could not understand the simplicity of this.
Exactly. Do you know how difficult it was to reverse engineer this?
Well, it definitely took more than the 2 brain cells I have, so.
This was a nightmare.
Well, unfortunately, I do have to go. but I can continue watching, but I just can't talk anymore.
Well, I mean, we've been going for like 2.5 hours now or so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we can probably wrap things up here. Um, was there anything else you wanted to discuss or mention or anything before we go? Either you or the people in the chat?
I have nothing new to mention.
All right. You want to briefly mention your status on Hell mode?
I am at the ultimate bosses, and then it's basically done. I just need to know if 108,000 Dragoon EXP to get to 7 is too much or too little. It's
108,000. Nice.
yeah, I for sure for hard mode, I think people will be able to get to Dragoon level 7 by the end of the game because it's twice the amount of what I'm doing right now, so or at least level 6, maybe not 7.
Yeah, Zychronix has been mostly MIA lately because, well, you've just been playing Hell mode as you've been developing it, right?
I'm having so much fun with it. I didn't realize I made it so excruciating hard. Like, I never used status items before. It's great.
Nice. So, well, there you have it. Hell mode is going to be even more Hell mode in Severed Chains, or whatever that's worth. Well, on that note, I'd just like to give a special thanks to my monthly supporters. First off, there's the Packle, who has somehow managed to subscribe to a tier that is higher than I even have, so thanks for that. Founders, JMan001, Deningrad, Sparta, and Shepard. Researcher Zach, and my mercenaries Vorthod, Chocolate, Platinum Sarge, Doom Metal, Milk Lizard, Matt, and an anonymous subscriber. Very mysterious. If for some reason you want to encourage this behavior, a link to my Ko-fi is in the description of the video.